gets to drive the 13 mitigator Ford Fusion. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.tv.
Driver of the number 5 Kiker Motorsports Camry. Welcome to Let's Talk Racing TV.
With Rockingham Speedway. Thanks for listening to Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Tony Peter, driver of the number 17 Toyota in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing. Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hey, we're on.
I'd like to thank everybody for watching Let's Talk Racing today. We're going to have, run down the list there, Matt.
Greg Bartosch, is that right?
You got it.
From RIR, he's on the phone. We're going to get with him in a second. Natalie Sather, Camping World truck driver and late model driver. Buck Ruess from the Denny Hamlin Foundation will be on with us at 7:30. And we got Smoking Joe Scarbrough over here. We need to find him a horseshoe. That's all I'm going to say about that. We got to find him a horseshoe.
A gremlin rod so I can get him out of the shop. Some gremlin grilling sauce so we can make him go away permanently.
So it's been a rough year for Mr. Scarbrough over here.
It's been the greatest opportunity for me to move up into the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Series, and it has absolutely been the worst season I've ever had. We are 4 DNFs in a row with a total parts failure price tag of about $6.
Yeah.
O-rings, switches. But we get to run enough every week. We learn a little more, and the car runs a little better. We still really haven't figured out qualifying, but we're racing better. We're starting in the back, and every week we're moving up, 8-10 spots before it happens. The big problem comes in.
And now you're off for close to 2 months, isn't it?
Right, yeah. So we can replace anything that's under $6. We're going to replace in the car. Just to
you're going to spend $1,000 just to replace.
Yeah, we're going to spend $1,000 every washer. Yeah, nuts, bolts. Yeah, tear-ups on the helmet. I can see one of them, falling off and gagging me at this point or something. I can't imagine what else could go wrong. The good news is, if you got a DNF or something, make it cheap. Bad enough you're going to finish in the back and get a lousy paycheck. Don't spend a fortune doing it.
Who was it? Bill Elliott lost the championship with a 50-cent piece.
Yeah.
So.
We're nowhere close to a championship.
He's already lost several championships.
He's done out of it, but still in the running for Rookie of the Year, I'll bet.
I doubt it. I mean, there's a few ringers in. There's a few guys that have been around a long time and just moved up into the series.
Okay. Let's get started with Greg Bartosch. And I know I screwed that up, but
no, you got it. You hit it.
Bartosch, is that what it is?
Bartosch, you got it.
PR for Richmond International Raceway. Y'all got a big weekend coming up, and tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, we're really excited. Things kick off actually tomorrow with we got the Denny Hamlin Short Track Showdown as well as the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East race, the Blue Ox 100, and so, the big weekend starts tomorrow, and then Friday we've got the Virginia 529 College Savings NASCAR Nationwide Series race, and then Sunday we have the Capital City 400 presented by Virginia is for Lovers Sprint Cup race. So, we're excited. We're ready to go. We're going to have a good crowd. We still got tickets available, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
You guys took on the Denny Hamlin race, and I'm gonna touch a little bit on that because it's actually been on Speed. It's going to be a live broadcast. The K&N race is a live broadcast too, correct?
That is correct.
How much more work has that added to y'all up there?
Well, Denny, It is a lot, but Denny's got a good group, and you know, they're a really good group to work with. I think you said you have Buck coming on in a little bit to talk, but you know, it's anytime you add another race or another event like that, it's just there's a whole checklist and a lot of stuff you got to get done. But thankfully, Denny has a really good group in place, and you know, they're easy to work with, and it makes it worthwhile and fun.
I've been to Richmond several times, and it's one of the great places. Tell our listeners out there, why should you go to Richmond? Why should you go to Richmond International to see a NASCAR race?
Why not? I mean, we got lights. Racing under the lights, seeing, you know, even just the different paint that they use on the cars, the way that shines off the lights. I mean, short track racing, and especially after these past couple races that we've had, you know, I think we're going to see some action, if you will. You know, we used to call it the action track. You know, it's such a spectacle when you come out here to Richmond and you see a night race, and you know, the guys, you know, everything, you know, just starting from driver introductions, and as soon as they fire those engines and the sun's finally set, and you know, showdown at sundown.
I'm going to elaborate on that some because I am local. I live about 10 miles from the track, and it's just, you know, I've been to Daytona, I've been to Pocono, I've been to quite a few different races, different divisions in different places. And Richmond is just, it's, for one, the whole area just comes to life. I mean, it's just that area of town. It's like a different world. It's its own environment. It's like somebody brought in a new town of just RVs and happy people. It's fantastic. Everybody's tailgating all over the place, and they live there for like 3 or 4 days. Then once you finally do get in the event, the closer you walk to the track, the energy just builds. As you get closer and closer, when you finally walk up there and hand your ticket to the attendant, you know, the hair's standing up on your arms, and it's so much energy in that speedway. And when you get in there, there's not a bad seat in the house. It's a 3/4 mile track, so everywhere you sit, you can see everything. The rotor's glowing. You can see the lug nuts flying off their cars on pit road. And you're right there. You can see these people, that everything was just a little speck on that TV you got at home. You're there. And it's just, it's one of those, if you haven't been to one, put it on your bucket list. You got to go. You got to go see one. You got to see one.
Absolutely. And you touched on it. And our community, our surrounding community is just, it's awesome the way that everybody around here embraces, you know, not only the track, but all our visitors, all our guests, you know, the whole NASCAR community, all the fans, everybody that travels. You know, whether we have fans, you know, we have a great fan base in Richmond locally, but, you know, we have fans, you know, Virginia Beach, Northern Virginia, you know, west side of Virginia, all over the place, and then across the country. Everybody that comes in, you know, it's just the neighborhood and the surrounding community really just, it's great how much they embrace everybody's presence.
It's really international. I work for Chevrolet up there for the Arrive and Drive, so I'll be there Friday and Saturday, and you know, I meet probably 500-600 people during that time, and you ask them, hey, how you doing? Welcome to Richmond. Where are you from? Canada. I can't tell you how many Canadians there are. I had no idea that NASCAR racing at Richmond was that popular for Canadians. It's got to be what, an 18-hour ride?
Yeah, we had.
Depending on where in Canada you're from, an 18 on a short ride, I guess. Ohio, Pennsylvania, tons of. There are more people from way outside the area than right here.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Canada is something I'm familiar with because prior to being at Richmond, I was at MIS for a little while, and so up there they have a huge Canadian following, and I've been lucky enough to kind of befriend some of the race fans and people that I see at the track all the time, and so I've seen some of our Canadian friends. And all they keep saying is, we're coming to Richmond, we got groups of us, we're coming. And so, yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
Beauty, eh?
All over.
Yeah.
I met a family from Colombia last year. Came by the Arrive and Drive. And I mean, that's just a small portion of what comes to the race because, well, you can't drink alcohol and do the Arrive and Drive, so I'm only meeting the sober ones.
Well, you know, and I'm going to touch a little bit on that, and Greg, you can jump in on this. It's not a redneck sport anymore. We're seeing doctors and lawyers and, you know, your average white collar. You still got your redneck beer drinkers out there, but you're seeing a diversity of people coming to the track.
Can you say that again?
Yeah, no.
He's representing the drinkers.
That one again. That was rough for me today.
But you
Am I
still,
right?
but you still get folks like me, your blue collar guys, your truck drivers, your mechanics, and they come out. I met some folks from Blackwater, the military tactical training facility that they come out. I see the same guy out there every year. He could certainly crank out a lap in a Vet or a Camaro. He's done some driving.
He's done a little bit of driving.
Absolutely, though. You're right. I mean, it's the fan base has evolved and grown so much. And, I mean, growing up as a kid, I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio. NASCAR, I didn't think was big back there, or up there. And now, I got my friends and family, and they're all coming down. And, they're, from downtown Cleveland, from the city, the race and all that stuff, it's foreign to them, but they came out and they're loving it. And I mean, you see that all over the place. And there's people that like cars, and so everybody can appreciate what they're doing. It's fascinating to a lot of fans, and that's definitely helped our fan base grow, and the younger community too. I think just the atmosphere has definitely helped embrace the younger following as well. So
Yeah, and you see them from age 80 to age 8.
Oh yeah, I've seen toddlers are being pushed in strollers and carrying oxygen bottles as well at the other end of the scale.
Yeah. So, give us a rundown of some of the hits that you've got going on down there at Richmond. You just touched on the races, but there's so much more to do there.
Are you talking about race day, race weekend?
Yeah.
We've got the Coca-Cola Family Track Walk on Saturday. That's going to be at 1:30 to 3, and Denny Hamlin, Jeff Burton will be joining. They're part of the Coke family, and so they'll be joining us, and it's open to all ticket holders. We have Travis Pastrana making his nationwide series debut on Friday, and so we have a special Q&A session with him where we're still selling tickets for that, $15. When you add it onto your ticket, you have a ticket and $15 at the ticket booth, and you can go do a little Q&A with Travis Pastrana. We've got appearances with Kevin Harvick. I know the Ford family just released all their appearances, and so I know they've got a bunch of guys coming out to their displays. We've got it all. We got a brand new Virginia 529 Kid Zone, so the young fans that come out and they're kind of mom and dad don't want to take them around anymore. We've got the Kid Zone for them to go play, free inflatables, and they can also sign up for our brand new RIR Kids Club there. I mean, you name it. There's plenty going on this weekend. There isn't a shortage of anything to do.
All kinds of Chevrolet puts on they put their ride and drive.
Well,
on.
yeah, I mean the event's outside the event. It's like a carnival.
Yeah.
I don't want to misquote the energy drink, but there was an energy drink set up right next to us that had the extreme motorcycle riding. I don't know what you call it, but they're doing backflips and somersaults and it was amazing. Amazing the amount of activities you can do. You could go there and I don't even think you'd have to go on a race. You could still spend 2 days and never see everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's tough to do it all when you're there, but that's why it's great to come out and start tomorrow and stay through Saturday with us.
We will be.
We will be.
I'll be there. Come
we
on
might
by
not stay up there, but we will be up there Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So, Greg, we're going to let you get out of here. We got Natalie coming on here in a second. Hope to see you up there this weekend, and good luck, and we'll get you on just before the next Richmond race.
Absolutely. We will see you guys in the media center, and thanks for having me on.
Well, thanks for coming on with us.
Absolutely.
All right, man. We'll see you later.
Take care, guys.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
And they do a very good job. I've been to Martinsville. Martinsville's a good place to see a track. But Richmond is the place to go do everything else. The only track that I've actually been to that would give them a running, but they're 1.5 miles, is Kansas.
I've never been there.
Because they are literally building a town around that racetrack.
Well, it's when the fans come into Richmond, they build their own town, which is essentially what you've got going on.
Yeah. So, and a great place to see a race, and it's really. When you go to Richmond, if anybody's ever been to Richmond, once you get in there, it's like, man, it's just a pain in the butt to get out of here. But the way that they do the traffic up there,
It's not bad.
surprisingly, it is really not that bad.
Yeah, no, it's not. I actually went in to see the race a couple of years last year, I think, for one of the events on a Saturday for the Cup race, and it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
You know, we got there early, and you figure, oh man, we're so buried at this parking lot, we'll never get out of here. But it really was. It was like maybe an hour to actually get back out onto the road and out of the facility.
And still free parking.
Yes.
Still free parking. Paul Sawyer, thank you. He's the one that started that, and it's worked.
But you know, it's so amazing because if you go there, well, not so much now, but I was one of the ride-along drivers for the Rusty Wallace event, Rusty Wallace driving experience, and you know, it's like a ghost town except for the a couple dozen cars they've got in the infield and maybe 100 people that are there for the event, and then you go there like this weekend and it's
wow. Let's talk racing.
This is Natalie.
Hey, Natalie, how you
Natalie.
doing?
Good. How are you?
Well, we're doing pretty good. We got Natalie Sather on the phone, Camping World truck driver and late model driver, and you're going to be in the Denny Hamlin race tomorrow night, right?
That is incorrect.
Oh, no. They had you on the list.
I was invited and would have loved nothing more, and I searched and searched and searched, but unfortunately came up short for sponsorship. I was actually going to run, I talked with Sellers and was looking at running either one of their cars or Bruce Anderson, and both are absolutely great equipment, and just couldn't come up with the funds. I got some help with the truck series this year, and I obviously can't, dip into that budget, so I was very, very, very disappointed because last year we showed up for practice and we were really strong, and then we blew a motor, and that, ended our chances last year. But, it was disappointing not being able to find it, but, to be invited to such a prestige event was still an honor.
Are you still going to come up?
Actually, I can't come. Being that I'm technically, I only have a handful of races on the schedule this year, and, don't make hardly any money. I actually have to work tomorrow. So
I feel your pain.
Yes, so I have a handful of races on the schedule this year, and that kind of keeps changing with, different, waiting for approvals and licensing and everything. So, as we were actually, at the beginning of the year, we were supposed to, run Martinsville and then Rockingham and then make my nationwide debut actually this weekend. And just with different licensing issues and, funding, everything, tentatively was scheduled and everything changed. So we're just kind of taking it day by day. And I can make my official announcement, I guess, on your guys' show when our next race is going to be, which will be in Iowa, which is the closest thing I have to a hometown track, being from North Dakota, so it's Midwest. And so I am absolutely thrilled that I get to run Iowa. I mean, that's the one place that I said when I signed with this team, I go, can we please, please, please go to Iowa? It's the closest thing I have to a home track.
Yeah, and a very good facility, and you ought to do pretty good, right? Do pretty good there.
Broke my heart that you didn't make it to Rockingham.
Say that one more time?
I said, you broke my heart that you didn't make it to Rockingham. We were down there.
I know, me too. I was going to go watch. My boyfriend left that morning to go watch Casey run, and I wish I would have because I would have got to be in victory lane with those guys. But I'm going to admit, I skipped. He went to Rockingham, and I went to the drag races. So I'd never been to the drag races, and I got invited to go and go, kind of sort of VIP, so I couldn't turn it down, and I already said I would go. And he wasn't even planning on being back, and they ended up getting rained out. So I'm like, you can go do that, but I have never been to the drag races before, so I'm going here. And he'd been, so I went with some friends, and it was unlike anything I've ever been to. It is indescribable. We got to be taken down, right behind where the cars go.
Yeah.
It really about blew me over, and I, screamed. I couldn't even help it. I was like, whoo! It was...
I know that feeling.
Yes, just the horsepower and the force that comes out of those cars is oh my gosh. It was awesome. It was the coolest thing I've done in a long time.
You feel
Your vision,
the horsepower.
Your vision blurs. You feel your organs move.
Your ears ache, even though you got earplugs
Hold
in it.
your ears.
Yeah.
Yes.
I videotaped it on my phone, and on my phone it's really neat. I had a whole bunch of people watching it. You can actually see the fumes.
Yeah.
See my phone and me all shoot back. It's unreal. It's so cool. I should post it on my Facebook, is what I should do.
Yeah, you should. I'd like to see that. So Iowa's your next race. That'll be in July, right?
July, yes. So I'm working on something else which I can't really say right now, but I have a feeling some of my older fans that have been following me a while ago might be pleased to find out. So once I know that, I'll have to come back and announce it.
Well, we won't tell anybody.
Oh, yeah.
It'll just be between you and us.
That's what I'll lead on right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Well, when you do get that news, you gotta let us know and come back on the show.
Yes, I will for sure.
Now, are you still jumping into the late model and all that every now and then?
I've talked with the sellers over there and told them that I would like to, because obviously, ideally for me, I've raced every weekend since I was 9, and so this has really been hard for me not to be racing and having weekends off. I don't even know what to do with myself. And I shouldn't say that. I've actually been working on a side business for 2 years, so I've actually gotten really far with that, and I've been able to dedicate my time to that now. So that's been kind of nice. But obviously, racing is my first priority. So, I've been trying to even find funding for that for a late model, and might try to get back to South Boston 1 or 2 times this year. That's my goal. But they've actually added more races on for the truck series this year with me, and but we just kind of got to take it day by day to see what we will get licensed for, because there have been other sponsors that have stepped up and wanted to sponsor me for certain races. So that's been really flattering, just after the short amount of time that I spent at Martinsville.
So we are looking at more truck races.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How do you like running them trucks? Tell us the difference between a late model and a truck, horsepower and handling and all that. Is there a great big difference?
Sometimes I will describe my experience in it. The day before we went to Martinsville is when I got to test for the first time. And we tested at Caraway, and we probably only were there for maybe 2 hours. And the gearing wasn't quite right for the tracks. Needless to say, I spun my tires every time coming off the corner. So I learned that there's a lot of torque and what not to do. So I go to Martinsville, and it's a lot bigger than Caraway. And I pull out on the track, and Casey Kane was actually going to spot for me, but being that they practiced right after us, he actually got Tony Stewart's spotter to spot for me, Bob Jeffrey. So I pull out of the track, and he comes on the radio, and I'm not out there by myself anymore. I am out there with the big boys. And I kind of took a big deep breath, and I go, well, let's do this. And I just floored it. I had no other option. I'm like, I hope this thing turns when I go into the first corner, because I have no idea. I've never driven one of these on this size track. Only ever had 60 laps ever in one, and it was nothing like it's going to be right now. And I hauled it in there, and yeah, it stepped out on me a couple times, and it's a lot different than a late model when it steps out. But I will say, having my dirt background, knowing what to do when a car gets loose, really, really, really has helped me when late models, trucks, everything. And so, they had the car pretty tight, and I kept telling them, I like a loose race car, Loose is fast and on the edge of out of control. Loosen it up. And, just being that I'm a rookie, I completely understand why they didn't. But, I had a lot of fun, and I tried to take the positives out of it. I was extremely disappointed and bummed that we didn't make the race. And, they're a newer team, and, we're running on a very low budget. And, it's just finding additional funding. And I know that, I know I can, drive and get to the front. We just need a little bit more help. And, the guys worked their tails off at Martinsville. And, they're absolutely wonderful people. And I drive for Make Motorsports for those that are listening that aren't familiar. And they have treated me amazingly and believe in me. And, it's a great organization. We just, need a little bit more sponsorship help.
Now, for all of you, Natalie Sather grew up in sprint cars.
Oh.
So that when she's talking about sliding, she knows what she's talking about.
That explains the manhandling abilities I've seen in a late model stock car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
You are not afraid to hang it out. I got to give you credit for that.
My whole life. That has helped too. I will say that.
yeah, and you.
But with the trucks on the radials, there's a lot less slip angle to that tire, so there's not hanging it out there doesn't look anywhere near as spectacular as that sprint car or late model.
Yeah.
Oh, no, if those things get loose, they're going around, and that's what I was warned about. And they're like, "You say you can catch a late model, good luck catching one of these." And it, it took me a couple times. One time I was like, "Ooh," kind of scared myself. But you almost need to scare yourself to push yourself. You need to know that you can push yourself that far.
And find the edge.
Yeah.
I knew my limit, and so I didn't go beyond that. And and the whole team worked with me so great over the whole weekend, and coached me. And TJ Bell was there; he's my teammate, and he was phenomenal. And I tried to ask some other guys questions, just anybody that was willing to give me advice. I wanted to learn as much as I could and take away as much as I could from that week, from Martinsville weekend, and move forward with the next race, which is now Iowa.
Has the truck world kind of? I mean, Natalie, you're one. Excuse me, you're one of these little 90-pound little girls. Have they kind of taken to you a little bit? Have you? Do you kind of feel welcomed in the truck series?
Well, I only ran Martinsville, and it was kind of like what seemed like a quick weekend to me, and I felt everybody gave me respect on the racetrack, and respect isn't something that you should necessarily be given. You have to earn respect, and so once I get out there and I race with these guys on a more of a regular basis, and get to know them. Like, I know Paulie, Haraka, and, he's a good driver, and a couple other drivers in the series as well. So, I mean, it's just a matter of spending time with these guys on the track and, earning their respect on the track, and then you'll, get to know them off the track as well. So I really don't know too many people, but, I'm looking forward to, hanging out around the track more with them and getting to know everybody.
Cool. Well, listen, we're going to let you go. Sorry we're not going to see you tomorrow night. We were kind of looking forward to that, but
I was so bummed, and it's hard, but I got to make some money so I can live.
Gotta eat.
You got to eat, and we understand that probably better than anybody else here.
Exactly.
So
appreciate you guys having me on, and I really got to thank everybody at Make Motorsports, and Butler Built Seats has been phenomenal to me this year, as well as Hooker Harness seatbelts. They are one of the best seatbelts. If you haven't ever tried Hooker Harness, be sure to check them out. And then, of course, Lady Eagle and Design 500 safety wear.
Listen, good luck, and we're going to get you on just before Iowa.
Awesome.
I'm going to tell you you should know where to go get the best food in Iowa.
In Iowa?
Yeah.
There's a little restaurant in Knoxville called Mr. C's.
Yep.
Really good grilled cheeses.
That's it.
So be sure to head up Mr. C's.
There you go. Listen, take care, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks, Natalie.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. Whenever you think sprint cars, you think of these, big burly.
Well,
Here's this little itty bitty girl of 90 pounds.
You've got two types. You've got the Casey Kane and the Natalie Sather type, which is a little 100-pound driver, and then you've got the. I've been at this since before they put roll cages on them. Steve Kinzer type, Tony Stewart, that are as tall as they are wide, and just burly guys. Yeah.
I seen Steve Kinzer run a midget one time, and his shoulders were sticking outside of the roll cage of the midget.
Yeah, he's a big, broad guy. Yeah,
he's about my height, I would say, maybe just a touch taller, but he is just.
But he's that wide too.
Yeah, he's that wide, and I mean, he's a burly guy. I would not want to piss him off.
No, that wouldn't go well.
No.
For her, it's good because she weighs less. That way, the truck would weigh less for when she's running.
Well, that's as a race car driver, that's one of the things that I battle. I'm 6'2". It's very hard to fit in a lot of these cars.
Take and suck a lot of helium before you go race.
Well, it's not even that. I'm very conscious of my weight. I stay down as light as I possibly can. But just physically fitting myself into a lot of these cars, like the Wheeler Modified, it was very, very tight, and I'm still not exactly comfortable. And in fact, we're probably going to cut the foot box out of the car and give me another couple of inches in there. Because we had to make all your standard parts from Troyer and Spavco. None of the parts work. We had to shorten brake pedals and Z pedals and stuff so that I wasn't driving with my arms under my knees around the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a legend driver a few years ago, and his name escapes me right now, but he was billed as the world's largest legends driver. He had the coupe.
Right.
And Old Dominion, and the things he sat on the floor.
Yeah,
they took a seat, and he was
I'm not
just
sure,
in
but
there.
there might be more room in a Legends car than there is in a wheel modified. Because I know my IMCA car was like a Cadillac. You could play handball inside that in comparison to what I'm running now.
He was 6'7", I believe,
Something like that.
375 pounds,
Yeah.
and had the gorilla arms. I kid you not, a coupe.
He's bigger
like
than the
yours.
car.
Yes.
Yeah.
Left side weight, big time.
Yeah. He could sit in the car, literally, belted in, reach out. So he had them gorilla arms. You know how them tall guys, some of them got them gorilla arms?
Yeah.
And reach out and grab his helmet off the front of the hood in the legend car.
Clowns can't do that. That's amazing.
He could. So, but we got Buck Ruess calling in here, and hopefully now.
I sent him a reminder.
Oh, okay.
Well,
And
if
then-
not, I have some babbling I can do.
Oh, let's babble.
An event that I just got. I
love babbling with you.
Hold on.
What?
Do the announcement, Mike Wallace and stuff.
You didn't write it down. Where is
I
it?
had it on the screen here.
No, you didn't.
Might as well babble.
I'll babble.
Babble.
Day, huh?
Why I looked this up.
A very good friend of mine, it was my coach when I ran the Great Am Series. Chuck Hawks is the president of a company that does teen driving solutions. They do a defensive driving course for teens and parents. And they do it in conjunction with the, I know they use a lot of the equipment from the O'Gara group that does a lot of tactical and police training. But they do it up at Virginia International Raceway. It's next Friday and Saturday.
Hold on, Buck.
It's an excellent thing to do is to have your teen or even yourself. I mean, we're all experienced drivers. But, that first time that you're going down the highway and the car's not pointed in the direction you want it pointed anymore, it's not the time to find out how to drive that car when you're surrounded by trucks and guardrails and ditches and bridges. This gives you that opportunity to go out there and find out what to do when things go wrong and what it feels like when things go wrong and have a plan for it. But it's a wonderful program. It's Teen Driving Solutions. You should check it out. And if you have a teen driver, even for yourself, I highly recommend getting involved in it. Did you guys work your thing out now?
Oh, okay. We worked it out. Yeah, it died.
Good.
So.
That was the filler.
Yeah, that was the filler. You did a good job. And we got Buck on the. This is Buck, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hold on one second. I'm going to do this. It just kind of came across my desk. JD Motorsports orders up Restaurant.com as a primary sponsor for the 01 Chevrolet driven by Mike Wallace. And Restaurant.com and HalfOffDeals.com. They will be the primary sponsors and co-sponsorship for the Chevrolet driven by Mike Wallace for the rest of the season, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Excellent.
Congratulations. Love to see people get sponsorship. No arguments about it. And we'll have to talk about Restaurant.com and all that later. But now I got my buddy Buck Ruess on here, Denny Hamlin Foundation president, right?
I'm the race coordinator.
Race coordinator, okay.
His wife is the head step and fetch it.
Hey, yeah, just like in the household, she's the director.
She's the director, and you're just the race director, right?
I'm the simple employee.
Bottle washer.
That's right, yeah, the race.
Justy? That's kind of an understatement.
So, got the Denny Hamlin Foundation now, and a lot of people don't know, Buck, you're also the announcer for Richmond International Raceway, aren't you?
Yeah, I, myself and Joey Phelps, who used to be at Motor Mile Speedway, both share the announcing duties in the PA booth at Richmond International Raceway, as well as when Clay Campbell brings the late model stock cars to Martinsville Speedway.
So, and so you've been around the block a few times. You're no stranger to racing, aren't you?
No, sir, not at all. Pretty much, from what I've been told by family, only a month out of the womb, I was already at Langley Speedway.
Oh, really? Well, I think we can all kind of attest to that.
Sure.
We're all pretty close to that. Tell us about what we got going on Thursday night. Talk to us a little bit about the Denny Hamlin Foundation.
Well, the Denny Hamlin Foundation, of course, was put together to mainly benefit the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, which Denny's cousin Kevin is actually coming into town. He's going to be our Grand Marshal, and that is the reason Denny started
building money and trying to support the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. His cousin has lived with CF his entire life and still does. And as I said, he'll be our Grand Marshal tomorrow night. And we also, of course, give to the NASCAR Foundation, Victory Junction Gang Camp, and a couple of others, including Richmond Children's Hospital, where Denny just made a donation down at the VCU ward for the Richmond Children's Hospital of $150,000 before he came out for the test session. So that was pretty neat. And I have a new plaque on the wall for Denny and everything out there and the foundation. So it was pretty neat to be a part of that, of course, for Denny. But now it's time to go racing tomorrow. The first on-track practice, I believe, is scheduled for 2:30 now. A little bit of shake-up in the scheduling over the last week. And Denny's got a pretty stout hot rod. Craig Oliver, Townsend Oliver, Torp Race Products, they've built the car this year that Denny will be driving. Of course, FedEx and the Foundation and Martin's Grocery Store chains are going to be aboard the machine along with Sprint.
Now this is a very unique race. This is not like the Tony Stewart race. You've got the local short track guys coming up there, but then you got a lot of guest drivers. Who's on the list this year?
Without it right in front of me right this second, I know it's going to be Denny, Ray Logano, Kyle Busch, of course, his teammate, 2011 NASCAR Sprint Cup champ Tony Stewart will be on hand, along with Jeff Burton, Jason White, Darrell Wallace Jr., Chase Elliott is back with us. He's going to be driving for Greg Marlowe, who Denny actually drove for last year when he won the event. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what Chase can do in Marlowe's machine this year.
Right.
We had Timothy Peters scheduled, and just last Saturday at the truck race in Kansas, a sponsor approached Timothy about possibly coming aboard his Red Horse Racing truck. And so now Timothy has a sponsor obligation he has to be at tonight and tomorrow night. So he will not be able to actually run with us. And Michael Waltrip's same deal with him. He has a sponsor obligation with Aaron's, where he is in Florida, and he will not be at the racing facility until Friday morning.
I thought, wasn't Ryan Newman supposed to run it?
That was I wouldn't call it a rumor. It was something that was trying to be put together.
Okay.
And Ryan's schedule also failed to match up with the date.
Okay. So now who do we got coming on the short track drive? We got a lot of good guys coming, some pretty stout late model drivers coming.
There is a ton of talent coming on the late model stock car side this year. A few drivers that couldn't make it, I really wish could have made it. But, Greg Edwards is coming from Langley. He's going to be driving Randy Spears' machine at the race. Of course, C.E. Falk will be there. He's the only late model stock car driver to win a Denny Hamlin short track showdown. Kyle Busch has won the other two, and Denny won last year. So that puts him in an elite category. We've got, Peyton Sellers, next national champ, will be on hand as well. A bunch of local drivers, Jeff Oakley, who raced and won the championship at Southside Speedway, will be on hand with us. And from what I counted, we're going to have right around 40 to 42 cars going for the 36-car field. And for Michael and Timothy bowing out, that leaves now, instead of only 24 spots, we're going to have 26 of the top late model drivers from the greater region here against the top 10 guys that we can get into the field as our special guest.
Cool.
That's going to be a great show.
That's going to be a great show. This is the short track guys that do this all the time, going against the best Cup drivers. It gets good.
Yes,
it
absolutely.
really gets good, let me tell you. I've been to the last three. Yeah, the last three, and all of them have been awesome.
Yeah, this will be the third actual late model stock car, not limited late model race, that we're going to have. Of course, the first late model stock car event happened at Southside Speedway, and we couldn't work things out with Southside Speedway to go back there last year in time, so we had to switch over to Richmond International Raceway. And now Dennis and Amy and everybody at Richmond International Raceway has been so great to us, and everyone with NASCAR, because now it is a officially NASCAR-sanctioned event because it has to be held at Richmond. And it's wild. It's only, and the thing about it I love is when you go to the local short tracks, and this is nothing against tracks because they can do it. They can drop the front gate down to like $10, $13, $15, but the competitors are always paying $25 to $35 to come in the back gate. Well, this is the only race where the spectator and the competitor pay the exact same amount. It's $25 at the front gate and $25 at the back gate.
So you do have pit passes?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, Richmond, I believe, you probably have to go on RIR.com. They have some pre-race pit passes that last for a little while tomorrow that they're selling, but our pit passes are mainly for the race teams and anyone with a NASCAR license.
Okay. So that's cool. Now,
If you want to get in, go get a NASCAR license.
if you want to get in, you can get into this event. So, it's not improbable like a Sprint Cup or a Nationwide. You can get into this event. You're in another business, and we got to talk a little bit about that too. I know we're on the Denny Hamlin race, but you got to, because he sponsored me, and I am very thankful for that. You're also into the graphics, aren't you?
Yeah, a company that Billy Smith from down there, he raced at Langley Speedway. He and I have been close friends for better than 30 years. We started Sticker Shock Graphics up here in Richmond, and we have wrapped at least 7 cars over the last couple of weeks for this race. We're going to have a total of, I believe, between 13 and 15 cars that we'll have graphics on at the Denny Hamlin Short Track Showdown. And won Best Appearing Car at Martinsville last year with Brandon Butler, so that was, pretty neat. Our first year right out the box and to get that award that both of us have always longed to try to, claim, me as a designer and him as the graphics person.
Yeah. Sticker Shock Graphics, and probably some of the best designs I've seen come out of.
That's who did your Pro 6 car?
Yeah.
The year you won a championship?
Yeah.
That was a hot-looking car.
Yeah.
That was
Billy did that, and I just said,
that was
here.
one of the best-looking race cars at the track.
Yeah. So, well, Buck, I'm gonna let you go out of here, and we're just gonna kind of BS the rest of the way. I'm hoping to run into you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be down on pit road, so come by and say hi and everything. And one other little note that became something really cool today. We had an email come in, and we had Pietro Fittipaldi, which is Christian Fittipaldi's son and Emerson Fittipaldi's grandson. He is 15 years old, and he will be attempting to make his first Denny Hamlin Short Track Showdown this year in the number 1 machine. Because of his entry, the race will not only be carried on speed in the United States, but the Fox Sports Network will pick up the broadcast, and it will be broadcast in Brazil for the first time.
Wow! Now is Emerson and all them going to be here?
International, like I was saying.
I was told he would be here for the race, so I'm pretty jonesed up about being able to meet Emerson Fittipaldi because it's that's a legend in IndyCar racing, so it's pretty cool to have somebody like that coming aboard as well.
2-time Indy 500 winner.
Yeah, that's it. And
yeah,
Formula 1 champion.
Formula 1 champion, the whole 9 yards. Oh, that's cool. Now that's good news there.
Yeah, and we also have another first for the Denny Hamlin Short Track Showdown, and MRN Radio is going to broadcast it live as well.
Wow, you guys are getting huge here.
Just like getting big time.
So it's really gaining the media notoriety, and we can just get the Cup driver schedules to clear up just good enough. We'll actually have 12 Cup drivers sooner or later.
Yeah, it'll happen, and the Cup guys, and we'll touch on this real quick. They are there to win. This is not a ride and drive for them. They are there, all guts and glory, aren't they?
No, actually, this year marks the first time that the Cup drivers actually had a meeting with Denny at Daytona and said, would you be upset if we rent our own cars? They got that serious. They've gone out and spent the money to rent cars from late model stock car teams in order to compete in this race.
Out of their own pocket.
Out of their own pocket, which, I mean, yeah, they got a lot of money, but, over the past, it's been like one of those things like, yeah, we'll do it, but we just don't want to have to rent a car. Well, now they're getting really serious about this thing. And Tony Stewart had Matt DiBenedetto in his car testing it last week. And I don't know if we're going to see this kind of time in time trials tomorrow or not, but a 2277 on International Raceway in a late model stock car.
Wow, he was carrying the mail.
Yes, sir. He was definitely hauling the mail down in and you can watch the car just bury in turn one. So Tony's definitely got a stout machine. Jeff Burton looked really strong as well. This is going to be his first time in the Denny Hamlin Short Track Showdown, so we're glad to have another Virginian on board to go try to take the trophy.
Well, we kind of hope it stays in Virginia. Besides Kyle, I mean, Denny and CE are both Virginia natives, so it'd be pretty cool if we'd see another Virginia native.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. And, of course, you know, the money in this race is pretty neat. You know, it's $7,500 to win. It's $55,500 in total purse. It's $800 to start. All you got to do is start the race. Qualify 36, you're guaranteed $800 automatically. Past that, we have $1,000 for the Stock Car Steel Pole Award. Rob Dyrdek's buddy, Drama, off of the Fantasy Factory of Rob Dyrdek TV show on MTV. His company, Young and Reckless, is sponsoring our Hard Charger and our Hard Luck Award of $1,000 each as well.
Wow. So you got some big guys coming up. Now, is Pastrana going to run the Denny Hamlin?
No, sir. He, as far as I know, Sergio Pena, Darrell Wallace Jr., and Chase Elliott are the three drivers that I know are going to be doing double duty.
Okay. So, okay. Well, Buck, I know you got to get some sleep here because I know you got a long day tomorrow, and we will definitely be seeing you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. See you there. Thank you very much for your time.
All right. Thanks, Buck.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Emerson Fittipaldi's grandson. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I sort of met Emerson Fittipaldi when I was taking the Moroso. I was at Moroso Speed Park, Motorsports Park in Jupiter, Florida, for a Skip Barber course, and I had borrowed the team owner's Mercedes to drive back and forth from her place to the track. So I'm in an AMG Mercedes. Yeah, like I drive a little car. It costs a little bit. I'm in an AMG Mercedes, and I'm pulling out. And in comes the exact same car in a different color. All smoked out Florida windows. We pulled them next to each other, put the window down, and it was a nice car, good choice. Yeah, and I was like, that guy looked familiar.
It was Emerson Fittipaldi.
It's Emerson Fittipaldi. And if I'm not mistaken, I could swear, I could be wrong, but Nigel Mansell was sitting in the seat next to him.
Wow. There's another Formula One.
I should have run into him just to get his autograph.
Yeah, there you go. Went up, dented the car a little bit. Oops, sorry. Can I have your autograph?
Yeah, the owner would have been upset, but I'd been, look what I got. It's on the police report.
But it's going to be a good race.
I think it's fan. You know, things happen. They say things happen for a reason. And you know, Southside had its issues last year and couldn't host the event due to the promoter's illness. And the event, Richmond was kind enough to take this event in. But wow, has it really put late model stock car on the map? Because I mean, if you're not in the Southeast, really, late model stock car isn't what late model stock car is here.
Yeah,
in the Midwest, it's sprinters, it's open wheel cars. West Coast has got its own venues. Southwest is a lot of dirt racing. Northeast is modified's the top of the world. But for this event to make it with the coverage it's got and to be at RIR, it's like the modifieds being at Bristol. It's huge. It really puts that division on the map.
And the late models have run there before, back.
But they
10,
didn't,
15 years
and the
ago for the
modifieds
state
did even
fair.
too, but they just didn't get the exposure that they are now.
But now they are.
It's a charity race. You've got all your cup guys in there. You've got your local stars. It really brings this division and the foundation right out there in the public eye, which is great. It really is great.
Serious about their racing,
and they have nothing to lose.
Not once.
There's
whatsoever.
no points. There's nothing.
It is an all-star race.
Blood will be spilled in this event,
and it's happened about every year.
Every driver is issued a Hans device and a hatchet, I believe.
Yep.
They are.
These guys want to win.
It's a show you don't want to miss. Are you going out? You going out to the race tomorrow night?
Yeah.
It's tomorrow night, right?
Yeah. I mean,
what time does the show start?
I just had it.
Hard question.
Right there. Hand me that. Thank you, Tommy. My buddy Tommy sitting over here. Let's see. Practice is going to start at inspection begins. Track service meeting. Haulers enter. Garage open. Driver crew chief. Final practice 1:30. I thought there was one before that. 7:30 is when, or no, 7 o'clock is when the Can-Am Pro Series runs.
So we've got the 2 races tomorrow. You got the Camping World Pro Series, and then you've got the late model stock.
No,
car
not
race.
K&N.
What did I say?
Camping World was trucks.
Camping World. I'm sorry.
K&N will start actually at.
I know. I'm thinking about going now. Yeah.
K&N starts at 7:30, and it will be live on Speed too, by the way. And then the 75 lap, 2 segments. Late model Denny Hamlin race starts at 8:30.
8:30.
Approximately 8:30. So
but if you're going to go, you got to catch the whole show. You got to go at 7 to catch the K&N guys.
K&N puts on a really good show there. It is an awesome. But when you put these top late model guys up against these top Sprint Cup guys, it's on.
Yes.
Tony Stewart gets in his car at the beginning of practice, and he will not get out of it until that car's right.
Yeah, he will stay in that sucker.
He will stay in that sucker, and this is what I want. And I mean, they are dead serious. They probably take this more serious than a Cup race.
Well, I would think for
it's bragging rights.
For a Cup driver with the amount of pressure there is involved running in the Cup Series, this is going to be a lot of fun too.
Oh yeah.
Because you're more prone to take that big chance for the spectacular move to gain the spot because it's not going to show up at the end of the season.
No holds barred.
You're not going to fall out of the chase.
Well, and the late
model
guys are the exact same way. This is their chance to shine against Cup guys
to show their stuff.
CE, it's just like he said. CE's the only one that's won. That's a late model. He's got that bragging rights that I out-snookered Denny Hamlin and Tony Stewart, and he did. He just out-snookered them, and did it in a great fashion.
And he wound up getting a couple of truck rides out of it too.
Yeah.
So, there's that too, But when you got like Brandon Butler, like I said, Greg Edwards is going to be tough up there.
David Mullins is going to be there.
David Mullins is going to be there. Motor Mile.
Frank Denny?
Frank Denny's going to be there.
Peyton Sellers.
Peyton Sellers is going to be there. Who else? There was a couple other ones. Philip Morris is going to be there, I think.
Probably. There's a bunch.
Yeah, there's going to be a bunch. So. Eddie's going to be there. And Eddie's always stout there. He was stout last year.
Eddie's never sell Eddie out of a race. Eddie's one of the best race car drivers I've come across. He's just a very, very sharp, smooth.
When CE won it, it was between CE, Eddie Johnson, Tony Stewart, and
Denny Hamlin.
Then when you go into that last turn, one of those four was going to win.
And Eddie finished third, I believe.
He was either second or third.
I think Denny got second. Eddie got third. Tony got fourth.
Denny didn't get second. Tony got second.
Denny got fourth.
It was that close, folks. You can't miss it. Go catch it. If you can't make it to the track, TiVo it, watch it at home.
Woody Howard will be there too, by the way.
But it's a race that you can't miss.
Also, one of the other late model drivers used to be out there quite a bit in our track. They wound up running Legends cars for a little while.
Woody.
No.
Smith.
Nick Smith.
I was in the pits when we were doing Southside, and Phil Warren and I were talking, and I said, Phil, who you putting money on here to win this race? He said, Eddie Johnson. Hands down.
Because when the smoke clears, Eddie will be the guy standing. And he got a tough break last year. He got caught in like that first lap pile up or something.
But he's always there at the end.
Never sell him out.
Yeah,
never sell him out.
Because I think didn't see you get involved in that one too.
I think Wesley.
A bunch of real stout, good running cars got caught in that.
Yeah.
It was just
Brandon Butler destroyed the car.
Yeah, somebody just trying to do too much too soon. I don't really know what happened, but it is like a 15-car pile up on lap one. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, Travis Pastrana got in on that. He was there.
I know talking to CE after the race at Langley, he said his car wasn't anywhere close to the speed the guys in the front had. He said they had more motor, their chassis were better set up, they weren't even close to a real late model.
But now that's a 100-lap race with no tire changes, correct?
2 tires at halfway.
Oh, you do get 2 tires at halfway.
And they take a 10-minute break and 2 tires at halfway.
I vote no tires. No new tires.
There'll be a lot of cars on the wall.
No, well, you got to play your first 75 right or your first 50 right. Yeah, if you go out there and decide to smoke the field from the get-go, it's like the Southern Modified Tour. If you think you're going to go out there and blister the field from lap 1, you are going to have a very difficult last 75 laps.
You're going to, Patience comes to mind.
Yes.
You have to have a lot of patience.
Patience, tire management, and the fastest car. Well, you guys know as well as I do. You can put a qualifying setup to go out there and blister the field. it's not necessarily going to be the fast, long race,
The
long race
whole
car
long
like
race.
the old Days of Thunder. Your way, my way.
way.
And you're gonna have that shredded up your way
6
tire.
seconds faster.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
Denny Hamlin Thursday night. K&N
Thursday night.
Nationwide Friday night. Sprint Cup Saturday night. Full weekend of racing. 3 days of racing.
That's damn near an overdose. You gotta love it.
Gotta love it. I'm good. Are you ready for it?
Well, I'm thinking about going down Thursday night. If you're going to go down Thursday night, maybe we'll hook up. We'll catch the races.
Sounds good.
The 4 of us will be down there.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Well,
we're
good.
gonna
Keep me posted on the details
will.
of where you're going and when
Yeah.
you're going. We'll buy some tickets at the gate, or we're just going to take our NASCAR licenses, walk in the back. Yeah, hit me up on the electronic leash. We'll figure it out.
We're gonna do the media thing. So, but yeah, you can get in the pits. I mean, we'll make sure we
and
catch
I
up.
think we'll do that. And then Friday and Saturday, I'm going to do your arrive and drive, and that's a long day. So I think after that, I'll probably DD out of there before the crowd hits.
I'll definitely come by and see you. We'll definitely come by.
Good.
and
Come
see
on
you.
down. Hop on a new vet.
Oh, I would love to.
Scare the hell out of me.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
All
Don't
right.
hit anything you don't want to buy.
Okay, I can do that. I can do that. That's for sure. So, we're actually done early. I cannot believe this.
Because we got
The Al's
good
not
stuff
here.
coming.
I got
Al's
five.
not
Al's not here. That was one of the big things I heard from everybody. Who's that guy that keeps talking? I hope he's not on tonight. And I said, no, he's not supposed to be here.
Well, I got to quit.
But Al's
I got a
good.
quick 5 minutes of babble.
Okay,
for you.
let's go.
I actually, in my position as driver, and we've got a marketing manager, a general manager of the team. They're out there finding sponsors. All I see is a sticker on the car. Well, I did an interview for NBC 12 last week, and a couple of our sponsors came down. It was Pete and Heather from Atlantic Solar Solutions. What a great couple these folks are. This isn't your stuffy white shirted corporate sponsor. These are like in the trenches people. Pete's a log home builder and got into completely solar powering homes. Fantastic product he's got, fantastic service he provides. Heather's a nurse, good down to earth people. We had them down at the shop. They're climbing around the race cars, kicking tires, sitting in the seat, belting them in. Watch, before the season's over, we'll have them on pit row suited up with helmets and suits on.
All right.
Great folks from Atlantic Solar Solutions.
I did see you got everybody suited up and all that. And you had
That's
a couple
all
of guys
NASCAR
come in.
mandated. And actually, that's something that I can kind of lead into is my company, Shockwave, may very possibly be soon. Very possibly, we're very looking into it right now. It's a very, very good possibility that we will be selling racing safety equipment as far as suits, nets, seat belts, gloves, shoes, that sort of thing.
Oh,
so
cool.
That's
Well,
something
yeah,
to.
well,
It's in the works. It's looking good.
I'm gonna
just
have to-
working out some
you're gonna have
logistics
to
on it, and
get the hook up.
something to keep an eye out there. So you may see Shockwave safety equipment hit the market. Hopefully, really soon.
Need to pay for all that stuff you're going to get.
Yeah, you gotta buy a lot of it first.
Shout out to Chrissy Stone. It's her birthday.
I already did. I already said hi.
Did you
You're
sing it?
behind. No, not happy birthday,
Happy
Christopher
birthday.
Stone. She's 29 years old.
Thank you.
If only.
So
Yeah, my mom's birthday recently passed, and I had to say, Mom, you can't keep telling people you're that age anymore because it's like 3-4 years younger than I am now. So the flags are going up. You're going to have to bump it up a decade, Mom. She still passes for younger than me, but
my Aunt Jackie's been 29 for 30 years. So
29 with 30 years experience.
Yeah. So,
but an aunt, you can pull it off. Maybe a different generation.
Aunt Jackie
different-
can
step
actually
aunt,
pull that
half
off.
aunt, something.
Yeah.
There's a story. You can't go, Mom, I'm 5 years younger.
Yeah. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, no, it's not. You can't. You see, either that, you're gonna start telling people you're my sister. One or the other.
Well,
So what do we got? Real quick, we got a few minutes left. Cameron, what are you racing? What's your next event? What do we got going on?
We got Southside next week, Friday night with the Legends, and we come back with Legends again at Langley.
Any modified action this year for you?
Yeah, we've already gone to the first race, had Twins, and we'll be back. We're not on schedule till the week after that.
Okay, good.
So
Good.
May 5th, possibility as of right now, Pro 6.
Yeah, she had a guest appearance last week that went pretty well.
Well,
You
yeah.
you got thrown in the deep end of the cold pool.
I got thrown in at the last second.
Yeah, it was
literally the last second. And
Which is
Ron
better
and-
than after the last
yeah,
second.
Ron and Lugnut and what was the other boy's name? Tommy was there. What was that other boy's name? Chris? No. Sheldon? I don't know. Great job. Got 5 laps. We made a few adjustments and we had 2 spin outs. One of them was my fault. I will take total blame for it. And the other one, we had a little help, but we still finished 9th. We were there. They knew we were there.
Good.
Had
good.
a teetotal bless. Danny Edwards, thank you, jumped in and spotted for me. Collins Machine, Hivac Industries, sponsors on the car, e-dealer services.
Good support. Sounds like the foundation
So very
really
good
there on the team.
Yeah, good support. Good car. We had a great time for a last-second deal. Sandy, thank you so much. She made a mad rush to bring my equipment out, and she got everything. So, but we had a good time. So
Excellent.
Neil,
Excellent.
Get better.
Get well soon.
Please
Not
get
good enough that you won't let me get out of the car yet.
No, I would rather see Neil in the car. Under these circumstances, I would rather have him.
Like to see nothing better than your situation to approve that you're
so Neil's
back
been,
and better than ever.
Neil's been a good friend. I've known him for a number of years and hated to see that, but stepped in and filled his shoes a little bit.
And he's doing well, so that's important.
Yeah, doing very well. Supposed to be coming home tomorrow, so if he watches this, get well. I'll be calling you soon to give you hell.
And on all this talk and support, that just reminded me that I have parts and pieces in the back of my car that I have to meet G. Nichols with tonight to make my carburetors better, so hopefully we can qualify a little better in these wheeling races.
There you go.
That way I'm not slugging it all the way to the front of the pack.
We've already been through your $6 part deal. So.
No, this is actually like an improvement part. Gene's fantastic with carburetors. And just
really?
I got a carburetor on.
Yeah, very cousin $10.
If Gene charges you $10, it's worth every dollar of it.
Every dollar. So.
Well, we'd like to thank everybody for watching Let's Talk Racing tonight. These guys are ready to rock and roll, and so am I. See you next week. See ya!
Hi, my name is Natalie. Sather. I drive the 94 K&N Lady Eagle Safety Wear, Butler built seats, bell helmets, hooker harness seatbelts, number 94 at South Boston Speedway. Be sure to listen to Let's Talk Racing TV.
Hi, I'm Sam Hunt, drive the 42 car on the thing Let's Talk Racing.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Robert Richardson Jr., driver of the number 23 Dodge Challenger for R3 Motorsports in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and you're watching Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Tony Peter, driver of the number 17 Toyota NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Let's Talk Racing is brought to you by PC Doctors, Computer Sales and Services. This doctor still makes house calls. And also Hampton Incredible Tees and Signs, both located at 1248 North King Street in Hampton, Virginia.